All right, Redskins.com, YouTube coverage here at Super Bowl Radio Row. And our coverage is brought to you by HCL, the official health and wellness partner of the Washington Redskins. And this man needs no introduction. Offensive lineman Chris Chester is here. How do you make of this all this craziness going on in the room behind us?
Oh, it's a circus, and that's how you know this is the biggest game maybe on the planet next to the Olympics. It's insane, and the excitement around here is awesome.
Tinsman, you've seen this man before.
How you doing, Chris?
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. Now, obviously, some changes this offseason, but you're going to keep your guy, Chris Forster.
Yeah.
What's it like to have that continuity, that carryover when the rest of the coaching staff is turning over like that?
Yeah, it gives us it just gives us an advantage with the new coaching staff, or not with the new staff, but in moving forward and building on all we've done, in the past. I feel like as an offense, we've had our ups and downs, but statistically, we've been fairly productive in a lot of categories. So, I think it's a good thing to. It's just one less hurdle you have to deal with when you have a new coach.
Chris, obviously the team is coming back from a tough year last year, and you have a new head coach. What is your mindset going into what is going to be a very competitive portion of the offseason right out of the box? Your offseason conditioning begins early, April the 7th. You're always in fantastic shape. But what is your mindset going into this official part of the offseason?
Yeah, I've been around the block a little bit, so I've had I believe one coaching change in my career, and it's going to be intense, and they're going to want to see what everyone's capable of. But I'm looking forward to it. At the end of the day, it's something we all love, and getting ready is pivotal to your success. And I think it's important for us to go in there with a good attitude and ready to roll.
Now, you've been at the big game before. And can you imagine what goes through a guy's – give us an insight, what goes through a guy's mind, a player, as it gets ratcheted up, as the pressure builds. Tell us what's that's like.
Well, I've never been to the big one. Been to a conference championship when I was back in Baltimore. And my approach was you always want to treat it how you've been treating the rest of your games throughout the season. So you want to keep the same routine. You want to prepare the same way. You want to study the same way, and I think that's pivotal. You've been successful to a point to get you to the Super Bowl or to a conference championship, so you need to continue to embrace what you've done to allow you to just continue your success.
So do you still get nervous?
I get nervous. I think the thing is I've just, like I said, being around a little bit, I've had the chance to kind of help myself figure out a routine to avoid playing nervous and playing worried or high strung or anything like that. So I try to really embrace my routine.
All right, Tinsman, you get the final question for Chris Chester.
Now, Chris, it seems like for 2 years we've been talking about having an outdoor Super Bowl in the cold weather. It looks like there won't be that much snow, if any. There won't be the really terrible conditions. But what's it like for a player, and how do you prepare in terms of preparing for cold weather as opposed to warm weather and inclement weather that you certainly had several times this year?
I personally don't do a whole lot. I may wear one extra shirt under my pad to keep a little bit more heat in. But once you get going, you're not worried about the elements. You're just worried about the man in front of you and getting your job done.
Are you a no-sleeves guy?
Yeah, no sleeves. There's
no macho offensive lineman. We know
that.
And, we all know that the offensive linemen are the most macho, and they're also the most intelligent position in football.
Without a doubt. They say the closer to the ball you are, the smarter you are. So,
One last question before you got to leave. I know you got to run. RG3 coming off a year with you guys, and while some people have talked about his leadership, those of have been around have seen how he's been on the football team. Why don't you give us your insight, whatever reaction you might have to that type of speculation?
Robert's a great man, and he's going to be a great player, I think. And his character, it doesn't deserve to be under question if it is. He's a young guy, and he's growing in both roles, as on the field and off the field. And I have nothing but the highest regard for Robert, and I think he gives us an excellent chance to be successful.
Where's the burgundy and gold with pride? Chris Chester, back from the Super Bowl, later on Redskins.com.